Okay, so basically we've got the prefrontal cortex up here. That's deals with your working memory for spatial tasks, solving complex multitask problems. So that's your prefrontal. And then basically if you kind of go to the side here, you've got a special area, which is Broca's area. And that's one of those areas where I think it receives, it understands language. I'm just double checking here. Broca's area actually, it's an inferior part of the premotor cortex, and it controls motor movements necessary for speaking. Okay, so it controls the ability to communicate, the ability to speak, and it's also connected to language comprehension areas. Okay, so that's the Broca's area. And then if you kind of go right behind the prefrontal cortex, before it's on this precentral gyrus, is the primary motor cortex. And then right in front of that, anterior to that, is the premotor cortex. So you've got the premotor cortex, and you've got the primary motor cortex, and then you've got that central sulcus. Okay, so what do those two things do? Basically, the premotor cortex is going to deal with la la la, la la la, la la la. Okay, well, while I'm thinking about where that is in the book, I'm going to map a little bit more. Okay, so then you've got the central sulcus, right? Right behind that, you've got the primary somatosensory cortex. So that is back here. And basically what that does is you have, it receives information from the general somatic senses. So what's happening with your body on the outside, the exterior, the superficial body. So, you know, all that stuff about touch, pressure, vibration, pain, temperature from the skin, and also proprioception from the muscles and joints, like where they are in space. So basically that deals with that. If we go behind the somatosensory, primary somatosensory cortex, we keep going. Actually, let's go. How do you say below? Let's go superior, inferior. Yeah, inferior. Let's go inferior to that, and we got another special area, which is called the Wernicke's area. And that also deals with language. It's like somewhere right in here. And it gives you the ability to recognize and understand spoken words. So if you have damage to this area, you cannot, it interferes with your ability to comprehend speech. So, you know, we got Wernicke's area, and then the Broca's area was up here, was a special one about being able to communicate. And so you could have damage to one of these areas. If you had damage to Wernicke's area, then you might not be able to comprehend speech, but you could communicate, versus the opposite. If you had damage to this Broca's area, then you may not be able to speak, but you could still comprehend language. So, you know, if your Wernicke's area was fine, you could still comprehend language. Alright, so what next? So back here in the very back, we got the primary visual cortex, of course associated with seeing and sight. And okay, so kind of more central or medial to the Wernicke's area is the auditory, the primary auditory complex. Kind of like as you follow this post-central gyrus down, that is at the very tip of it is the primary auditory cortex, and then kind of right behind that is the association area. Of course, every cortex has its own association area, but that's probably, I don't know if you need to know those as much, but sure. Primary auditory cortex, sorry. Okay, so what else do we have? Have we gone over all of them? What about the olfactory cortex? Did we go over that one? Okay. Gustatory cortex. Okay, so basically in front of the one I just named, the primary auditory cortex, somewhere right in here, it's going to be kind of in front or in front of the precentral gyrus is the gustatory cortex. So, you know, involved in tasting and that sort of thing. So kind of, and then there's Broca's area right in front of that. So right behind Broca's area is going to be the gustatory cortex. What else? We did olfactory. What about the vestibular, the one that controls equilibrium? That's going to be, let's find that. Vestibular cortex. Vestibular cortex. I don't see it over here. Darn, where are ya? Vestibular. Okay. I think it's going to be somewhere deep to these areas, so we can't see it from here. Where does it say? Okay, so it's basically, researchers have had difficulty locating the part of the cortex responsible for conscious awareness of balance, but it's in the posterior part of the insula, deep to the lateral sulcus. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure, but then, have we covered all of them? What about the visceral sensory? Yeah, I think that's it, except for the olfactory cortex, which I can't seem to find. Did we do the auditory? Did we do the auditory cortex yet? Yeah, the visuals in the back. Visuals in the back. I think that's it for now.